Hello there YouTube, I am Wheelchair21 and in today's rolling review we will be looking at the Ultra Hero and Monster 500 series from Ultraman. These are the Spark dolls which you can use with the Ginga Spark, the Victory Lancer, or the X-Devizer. Since I have the X-Devizer, we're going to be looking at all the sounds that these Spark dolls feature when using it with the toy. And we're going to be looking at, well, the points of articulation and some of the details of these individual characters, and what's good and what's bad about them. For the basic Ultra series, or I should say the Ultra Hero series of the 500 line and the Spark Doll series, you pretty much have a 5-inch figure, a nice vinyl 5-inch figure, nice rubbery soft plastic, and it's not really a choking hazard. Some of them, I would say some of the special editions, like this Strong Corona, usually has a different type of card featured to him. All of them normally have cards to them, but some that I got were secondhand, and the cards were removed. But this one here, special one, so you can see he has clear plastic, and looks a lot different than his brethren. As well as, most Spark dolls have on the bottom of their left foot a special reader that most of the Ultra devices are supposed to pick up. However, it wasn't until the X-Devizer that each one could be specifically read from the toys. And I gotta say, it does capture Strong Corona pretty accurately. The clear plastic actually makes it a lot different. And comparing it to its base form, Zero is still Zero. He has his blue, red, and silver design. He has his armor, similar to his father and his sluggers. And I gotta say, really well. The design featured looks really like an actual person in suit, shrunken down. That's kind of a cool little feature of when you watch Ginga when they were actually talking and such, especially in the Spark Doll Theater that they had at the very end of some episodes. And I overly enjoy it. Each of the heroes, though, use a red design. I think there's only 2 different variants, is the red for Hero and the yellow for the Kaiju, with John 9, or John Killer, as Ginga falls over. I know for a fact this was released as his heroic side when he renames himself, John 9, a very awesome robot. I gotta say, I really do love his designs more than Jumborg Ace at times. I think it's just because he has a little gauntlet here, a little gauntlet cannon, which looks really decent, and he has wheels and treads all over him because of his tank-like plane mode. So honestly, he has a really nice design, really nice color scheme of a nice maroon and silver. And you can see him in Zero movies as well as Ginga slash Ginga S. I think they replaced him in Ginga S. I still haven't watched that one yet. And, well, the one who really did start the whole Spark Doll theme is Ginga himself. One of the coolest things about Ginga is the fact that he uses a lot of, like, LED lighting in his suit, which is symbolized through these blue panels. Almost every place that you see these blue metallic areas, it's supposed to be an LED light that lights up on his suit, and it's really nice, really good feature. I kind of want to get the 2,500 yen limited edition pack, which actually, when used on the X-Devizer and Ginga Spark, it actually shouts out all of his attacks used in the series, like Ginga Fireball, Ginga Thundershock, Ginga Slash, in both its variants, as well as Ginga Comfort, just because it's nice, clear plastic for all the pieces, and it's really, really awesome. It's a very nice Rainbow-like gift set, but, you know, it's a premium web shop exclusive, so it's a little expensive compared to most. Honestly, their points of articulation are very, very minimal, because these are just little vinyl toys for kids to play with, or to use with your reader, and they only have joints in their arms and in their torso. Now, the Kaiju, they are, well, honestly, smaller. They're only about I wouldn't say 3 inches, they're about 4.75 inches, not full 5, and they really do try to capture the suit the best they can. This one is Golza from Tiga, and it shows all of his data on the card, which is a good thing about the cards. They try to tell you who each of these Kaiju are, with some stats and such, and shows a screen cap of when they inaugurally debuted. And I gotta say, Golza is one of my favorite. He actually has 4 points of articulation due to his tail actually having a swivel, his arms each swivel, and his abdomen has a bit of a swivel. But I wouldn't twist it too much or he might pop off. Honestly, he is one of my favorite Kaiju of all time, next to Emperalizer, as Belial falls over. Emperlizer is a mecha-based kaiju used in Mabius. We've already talked about him because he has an actual cyber armor card. And honestly, same photo, I think, used on the card as well. So, he only has 2 points of articulation. His waist looks like it does have a joint, but they molded it on an angle. So, he is one of the lackluster ones in the series, just because they didn't give him a goddamn freaking waist joint. I would have thought he would have had one, especially due to the fact that in the show, one of his attacks is a spinning attack, similar to Mechagodzilla, the original, from '74, where he would spin his head and torso to create a barrier shield. Don't know why they took out a simple joint in this toy. Maybe it's just because of how the torso's made. I don't know. And with Belial, who is technically an Ultraman, as everything keeps falling, he has the similar hero design mold, very villainous look of a Ultraman, as well as having like a shark-like spine added to his suit. Really good. He has a shark fin, I should say, not a spine. Like, really good, like the spine, all the way up from his head to ass. Just, it's a good way to hide the zipper, honestly, in the suit form. So, that's one good feature. They also molded in, well, more muscular joints than other Ultras into his suit to make him more powerful, more stronger, more corrupt, especially with his, like, Freddy Krueger-like claws. And, honestly, probably one of the best Dark Ultras in existence. And that's all I can really say. So we're going to look at the sounds and what they do with the X-Devizer. The only issue I can say now, forewarning, Golza and Emperlizer won't be used. As you can see on their actual scanner pieces, there's a lot of this glue and adhesive put over it. So much that they don't actually scan anymore. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the glue destroyed whatever it does to read it. I know they read a little bit early on when I first got these back in December, but now they're not scanning, and that's just a shame. So we'll look at everything else that works. First off is Ginga.
Ultraman Ginga は光の国の出身ですか？ウルトラマン解析中。ウルトラマンゼロ解析完了しました。ウルトラマンゼロは光の国の出身ですか？ウルトラマン解析中。ストロングコロナゼロ解析完了しました。ストロングコロナゼロは光の国の出身ですか？ヒーロー解析中。ジャンナイン解析完了しました。ジャンナインは光の国の出身ですか？ガオディクションを起動します。ベリアル解析中。ベリアル解析完了しました。トレーニングモードへ移行します。ベリアルパワーアップ。
It's now evaluation time, and one thing I gotta say is, these are basic vinyl toys, but now they actually have a feature as to why you need to collect them, compared to the Sentai vinyls or the Kamen Rider vinyls. They have the neat little, scanner ability on the bottom of their left foot, and they go well with the roleplay toys. And I gotta say, if it wasn't for Zero or Ginga, we probably wouldn't have X and that great Ultraman deal on Crunchyroll. We might have still gotten it, but I don't know how good it would have been without it. One thing I can really say is that the Ultramen are quite bigger than their kaiju counterparts, even though most of the kaiju are taller than them or about the same height as them in the show. Now, the ones that are actually bigger or more accurate proportion to the Ultra are from the DX line, which we'll talk about a bit more in future reviews, since quite a few of those actual are, in my other reviews, DX figures. It is a shame that, they are smaller, but you gotta deal with it. It's also a shame that there's not a few more points of articulation in the Kaiju than there are the Ultras, unless they have a tail. That's about it. I mean, their designs are good, they look pretty decent, they look like the suits, they have what they need to do, and you can use them with all three of the Spark Doll toys, as well as there's there's many variants to some of the figures, whether it be Zero for his forms, Tiga for his forms, or some of the Kaiju, like Golza. He has 3 figures in the line. He has Golza, Fire Golza, and soon it will be called Gorg Fire Golza, which is coming out due to the X movie. Spark Dolls, you get what you like, and you pass what you don't like. I mean, you don't have to get all the ones that appear in, say, Ginga, or Ginga S, or Ultraman X, but you could get ones from series that you do like, say, Mabius, Tiga, Dyna, Gaia, Taro, and Seven. And I'm pretty sure there are quite a lot of Kaiju that are already in the line from those. The only thing I can say is, the earlier the years, the more chances of quality control on the Kaiju's little touchpads to scan with your toy. But if you just want them for a collectible gimmick or just to collect for your collection, go right the hell ahead. There's nothing stopping you. You don't need to just get the figures and have the Henshin device. I mean, I would love to have more of these figures, not just because I have the X-Devizer. So, you can find them at CS Toys Japan, Japan Hero Collectibles, Ami, Hobbylink Japan, and probably a few on Amazon or eBay. Nevertheless, I am Wheelchair21, and you can find me here on YouTube or over at HeroTaku.com. You can follow me on Twitter, check me out on Instagram, and stay tuned for upcoming reviews on pretty much anything, whether it be toy reviews or Doyle's DVDs.